I look like some Fire Nation princess today, and I'm not mad about it. What is up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So the topic of today's video, I've actually been thinking about filming this video for a while now, but I didn't know how to address it exactly, but now I think I do, and I've never seen anyone talk about this on YouTube, at least, so I'm gonna be the first one, I guess. I'm not sure if anyone's gonna watch this video because it's definitely not searchable topic, but still I think it's pretty interesting. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So recently, underneath one of my old videos, I got this comment. No hate to this person, because first off, I low-key hate my old videos because I've changed so much since that time, and like my perception of style and what I want to do with my content on YouTube has changed. So I don't want you to associate me now with that version of me, but still, I got this comment and it was like pretty interesting, and that's what inspired me to film this video today, because actually I've been gathering some data for the last couple of months, but this comment was like the final push for me to film this video. So today we're gonna talk about aesthetics, about Gen Z and modern day aesthetics, and why are they kind of toxic. So lately I've seen a lot of aesthetics appearing on social media, and if a couple of decades ago it was one particular style that everybody stick to, or one subculture at a time, now there's just too many of them. And it's not a bad thing necessarily. I mean, it's great when new styles are being born and people find new fields of self-expression, but I mean, it still doesn't really sit right with me. You know, these weird, insane rock music fans, and I've encountered a lot of them during my lifetime, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that everyone is like that, but there are a few examples. You know, when you're wearing a Nirvana t-shirt, let's say, and they're like, oh, so you're wearing Nirvana t-shirt, huh? You love Nirvana? Well, have you been to Kurt Cobain's funeral? No? Poser. You know what I'm talking about, and it was just a joke, okay? Please don't come for me. These kids, modern day kids, are even more crazy because they seem to have this weird obsession with categorizing everything. Every single routine that they're doing should have a name. You know, I posted this TikTok the other day where I'm just, sitting on a rock with a lighter in the middle of the forest, and people started asking, what's the name of this aesthetic? What's the name of this aesthetic? I don't even know. Me sitting on a rock in the middle of the forest holding a lighter. So let's briefly touch on the reasons why these aesthetics are appearing, and it's actually a little interesting because if in 20th century, most aesthetics were actually subcultures with, they had deeper meaning behind them. They had some background, some stories, some values, if you will. There was something behind every single subculture beyond just the style and the aesthetic of it. Now it's just the cosmetics, it's just the looks, it's just a pretty cover, pretty image with no actual meaning or story behind it. That's the main difference between the aesthetics of 20th and 21st century. So I think that obviously the reason why people created all these aesthetics is because everybody wants to fit in. Even if you're that mysterious weirdo.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in, and I don't want to fit in.
It doesn't give a fuck about all the rules, that doesn't want to fit in. Yes, you do. You want to fit in. Everybody wants to fit in. But it's about finding your group of people, because it would mean that you have something in common with these people, some common interests, common sense of fashion. Belonging to a social group or youth subculture is often about exploring who you are and what you stand for. During adolescence, teenagers strive to form independent adult identities. Experimenting with different social groups is one way of doing this. Belonging to youth subcultures or social groups can also be the way for teenagers to decide what they identify with in the adult world. Social groups can offer a set of guidelines about how to behave, dress, and think. Dressing, behaving, and thinking like the rest of subculture can give a person a sense of belonging and identity, and belonging is important for teenage mental health and well-being. But now, except for the fact that people want to belong to a certain group of people, they also want to show how unique and creative they are. That's, I think, the reason why we have so many different aesthetics now, because people just want to seem unique, while in reality they're not that creative, to be honest. Now let's talk about the father of all these aesthetics. And honestly, the thing that I've noticed is that during the past year or two, people have been saying the word aesthetic so fucking often that now I kind of start hating it. So the father of all the aesthetics that we know today is Pinterest and TikTok for some part. So the most of the Pinterest aesthetics, as you may already know, are in fact extremely toxic. If you look at all these pictures, you can see that they're very white and skinny. The girls in the pictures really fit into these westernized European beauty standard, and it implies that only white and skinny people can participate in the trends / aesthetics. And I've seen so many times when people of color or plus-sized people were participating in these trends, and you know, they were trying on different aesthetics like fairycore, goth, whatever, and people were actually so mean to them in the comments. Like, the most of the comments were, "You're too big for this, it would look better on a lighter skin tone," and on and on and on. Because skinny white girls are basically gatekeeping these fucking Pinterest aesthetics and excluding a whole bunch of people from them just because they don't fit the European beauty standards, or because deep down they know that plus-size girls are dressing better than them. Now to a little bit heavy stuff. So the thing that I've noticed today is this weird necessity for young people to turn everything into an aesthetic. Some of the modern trends are actually rooted in cultural appropriation. For example, even like Y2K. You know, I'm talking about the wing of Y2K that is trending now. It is basically a whitewashed version of black women's fashion of early 2000s, and don't even get me started with sexualized and fetishized version of traditional Chinese and Japanese clothes. Fun fact, actually really sad fact, I was accused of cultural appropriation on TikTok while wearing my country's traditional clothes, even though like I'm mixed, and people were accusing me of cultural appropriation, while when full-blooded white people are doing it, it seems fine. And it's actually so weird, but it's like the topic for a whole another video. And that's the issue that I have with modern day aesthetics, is that people just see something that they think is cute and fun and they immediately start doing it. They start wearing it without thinking if they're doing it right, or if this thing has some meaning behind it, some history behind it. It actually reminds me of the spiritual TikTok and the time when white people started practicing voodoo magic without even thinking if it's meant for them. It's one of the many examples, actually. The same with people romanticizing cottagecore, and it's actually so funny because they're probably thinking that living this countryside life is just, you know, sitting in your cottage all day long and taking cute pictures and wearing corsets and stuff, while in reality you have no idea how much work and energy you have to put into this kind of lifestyle. My grandparents actually lived in a countryside and they had like this cottage and a little farm. You have no idea how much time you have to spend working on this farm, on growing your own plants, on like trying to keep your house in decent condition. You know, it's so much work, and people just don't seem to realize it because they see this pretty image on Pinterest, and they think that that's it, that's all that comes with this lifestyle, when, well, in reality it's really not. That's why I think Pinterest is like the worst source of information when it comes to choosing where you want to move, how you want to live, because it just shows you this pretty image, nothing to it. And that's why many people end up being tricked, and sometime later they realize that this lifestyle is not actually for them. But okay, and the thing about modern day kids obsessed with aesthetics, I don't know how to put it in words so that I don't offend anyone, but I guess it's fucking impossible anyway, so I'm just gonna say it. But people who are obsessed with aesthetics are kind of miserable. I mean, this whole like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it seems like the only purpose of their existence is to take cute pictures of themselves, put it on TikTok, Pinterest, IG, whatever, and you know, just basically existing for the sake of taking pictures and making cute TikToks, which is honestly kind of miserable. I know some people like this. Sometimes it gets really exhausting to communicate with them, because even when your guys are hanging out together, they're always like, take a picture of me, take a picture of me. It's just so insane, because sometimes you just want to not care about your outfit, just go out with your friends who don't care about their outfits either, and just talk without all this content creating and taking millions of pictures. But for some people this isn't the case, and the only reason why they have friends and why they go out is because they want to take pictures and make TikToks. I saw a TikTok of this girl saying how much she wants to have friends, but not because like she wants friends, but because she wants them to look aesthetic so that they can hang out together and take cute pictures. Okay, Gen Z's obsession with aesthetics is kind of toxic, because just start seeing people as accessories for your cute Pinterest like pictures and TikTok videos rather than human beings and friends. You know, it's just some food for thought. And the last thing that I'd love to say is that the second you leave all these Pinterest aesthetics behind is the second when your personal style begins to develop. And I don't want say too much about it, because I'm actually working on a video about finding your personal style right now, so it's all gonna be in that video, so wait for it. It's gonna be amazing. Like, I'm working so hard on it, and just wait for it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments, leave your opinions in the comments, and follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.